So now I have opened up the CSS. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color of the body. Background like light gray, and I'm going to target the container, which is the bootstrap class, and I'm going to set the max width to 1000 pixels, and you can see it pushed back. Now you can see it's above 1000 pixel. When I reach below 1000 pixel, and you can see it's responsive. Okay, I'm trying to explain as much as I can. So yeah, let me set the background to white, and padding top and bottom 50 pixel, left and right 25 pixel, and I'm going to give a box shadow like this. Okay, box shadow 0, and from top 5 pixel and 5 pixel blur and a gray color, and you can see we got the box shadow. Okay, so when it reaches below 1000 pixel, you can see there's no padding around it, so we can set that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to target the main container, which is this container, and I'm going to set this display property to flex so we can align this center vertically. Okay, I'm going to use the property called align item center, and this will center vertically, but you can see it's not centering vertically because this skill content don't have a height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a minimum height of 100 VH, which means minimum height of the viewport. So when I resize this, and you can see it's still perfectly centered. So I'm going to give this container a padding of 15 pixel, so you can see there's a space around it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to target the skill bar, skills inside this main container, and I'm going to target this skill bar dot skill bar. So I'm going to give this a padding and max width of 350 pixel. So now I'm going to target the skill info, and I'm going to set the display property to flex, and I'm going to align the items vertically center, and I'm going to let me save this, and you can see align items. Okay, and you can see it's perfectly centered. So I'm going to put some space in between that, so justify content space between. If I sound like a robot, I'm really sorry because I'm using a plugin to denoise. Okay, there's a lot of background noise in here, that's why I sound like a robot. I'm really sorry guys, I don't have a high quality microphone. I'm just using BM800 $17 microphone directly plugged into my laptop using a USB adapter. I don't have any phantom power or not, I don't have that. So hope you can appreciate my work because I'm trying to do this tutorial for a long time. So I record this like for 1 or 2 hours, and then I stop doing it because I take a long time. So finally I'm trying to do this today. So let's see how this go well. So that's why I'm not trying to explain this much as possible because I'm not good at that. Okay, I'm going to target skills and dot bar. I'm directly targeting this dot bar. Okay, dot bar. I'm going to give this a padding top and bottom 10 pixel, left and right nothing, and I'm going to set the display property to flex, and I'm going to, so you can see there'll be a lot of dots, 10 dots inside this. So I'm going to distribute the space, which is 350 pixel. So yeah, let's put the property called justify content space between, so each dot will have space around it. And yeah, let's create the dot. And I'm going to set the display property to inline block, and width to 20 pixel, and height also be 20 pixel. And I'm going to give the background color to like dark black, not dark black, actually it's a little lighter black. And I'm going to give this a border radius so we can get a nice circle, 50%. And you can see we got a nice circle with the dark, not dark, actually a little bit light black. So I'm going to set this position to relative. Okay, now we have finally done with dot. Now we have to create this line. Okay, we'll be using the pseudo class before, okay, in order to create that line. So let's target skill and dot, and I'm going to use the before pseudo class, and I'm going to set a contain in order to make that before pseudo class work, and width to 100% of the circle, and set the display property to block, and border 2 pixels solid, same color as the dot color. Okay, and you can see that I'm going to zoom in, and you can see that line. So now in order to move that freely, I'm going to set the position property to absolute, and from top I want it to come 50%, and you can see it's 50% down, and you can see that it's actually not centered yet. So we will be using transform property to center that. Transform translate y minus 50%, and now you can see it's perfectly centered, and I know you can notice that. Okay, let me set the left property to 100%, and you can see we got the line. And now it's time to write the JavaScript, and yeah, there's a little bit more CSS to write, but let's finish up with the JavaScript.